Hey, welcome to my Permanently Filipino playlist where I basically talk about everything my husband and I are doing as United States retirees as we transition to the Philippines to become permanent residents. Now, I normally don't do 2 videos for this playlist in a week, but it's October 19th in the United States, and that means American citizens have until October 21st to register online or by mail so that they could vote in the November 5th federal election. Now, this video is not about politics. It's not about political party, political issues, political anything. It really is just sharing one of the answers that we received in regards to our question, how do you vote as an American citizen while living abroad? So, as an American citizen, I believe it is my civic duty to be able to vote. It is also your right to not vote, but it was important to us. One of the things we did before we left the United States, even though we didn't have an answer to this question, we registered with the United States Embassy, hoping that we would get an answer to this question. And we also knew we could contact our city clerk. So we weren't too concerned. So this video really just talks about how did we get the most detailed information to be able to prepare us for voting in the United States. So in April 2024, we received an email from the United States Embassy, and some of the things that I'm going to share, I'm going to read directly so I don't mess it up. Because they were going to have an overseas voting workshop in Cebu, and we could either attend that meeting in person or via Zoom, and I registered so that we could attend it via Zoom. My critique about the meeting was that it was difficult for us to hear the speakers, and even the people who attended and had questions, we couldn't hear their questions. It was muffled. It wasn't like LTO Charlie Brown teacher muffled. It was more like they were talking really far away from the microphone, and every time we put in the chat like we're having a difficult time hearing you, they would get close up to the microphone again, but then forget and walk away, and then again we couldn't hear. So the meeting might have lasted about 30-45 minutes. We only lasted about 15, because within the first 15 minutes we received the most important information. Information from the information about the fvap.gov website, which is the Federal Voting Assistance Program. Now, when it comes to voting absentee, I am not an expert. I just follow my state's expectations. So some of the things that I talk about, it's going to be super general. It will not address specific states, because just go onto this website. This website I didn't even know existed. Even as a United States citizen, I wish I would have known about this website, because it told me everything I needed to know as an absentee voter, which was amazing. And for me to realize, until I lived abroad did I find out about this website. I think everyone needs to know about this website personally, but that's just my personal take, little personal commentary. Anyway, this website is just full of information. Everything that you need to know to understand the absentee voting process. It even includes, what is it called? The absentee voting video series, like little snippets to give you a quick little overview. When you go on the website, it might seem a little bit overwhelming, but honestly, just go to the absentee voting video series. It gives you a really nice overview. And it kind of helps you guide through the whole process. So you can actually just stop this video right now and go to the website and check out the website, fvap.gov. I'll try to remember to put it in the description box, because that will give you everything you need to know to vote while living abroad. Actually, even if you're living in the United States, FYI. But if you want to know what I did and what my husband did so that we could vote in the primaries, also the August primaries and the upcoming November election, continue listening on. So first, when you get onto the website, there's a tab, and it's the Overseas Citizen Voter. Now there's multiple tabs. That's the tab that we used. Once you go on there, again, I'm using my notes just to make sure I don't mess up. You'll see a map, and you click onto your state. I would click onto Michigan, and then from there, you have to fill out the federal postcard application. Now you can download a PDF file of it, or you could just do it online. I registered online using that. First you have to review the Privacy Act statement, accept it, and continue, and then it immediately goes to the application. So here's all the information that you need, and this is where I am definitely going to read. You need to indicate who you are and why you're eligible to vote absentee. You need your full name, first, middle, and last, and any previous names. You need your social security number, United States driver's license number or state ID number, your United States address. Now I'm going to stop here. I'm going to talk about that in a future video. But make sure you have a United States address. I don't know anything about post office. You're going to have to talk to your city clerk. But we use the address of my husband's childhood friend, like they're besties. So we use their address for really important information. I'm not sure if I think I talked a little bit about that in a previous video. I'm going to put that in more detail about why that's super important in a future video. But that's the US address we used. Then you have to put in your current address. Now your current address could be the address where you're living abroad, an address that's different from your US address, or a forwarding address. Okay? We put in our Filipino address. Then you put in your contact information, the email, an alternative email, phone number, and if you use a fax number. I think I just put an A, not applicable. And then if you want to vote in the primaries, you then do have to indicate your political party. And since I voted in the primaries, I did indicate my political party there. And then there's a little box section where you could indicate any other information that you think would be important for them to provide. And that is where I put in my Filipino phone number. So just make sure you complete each area of that registration. You're going to need access to a printer. So we printed it out, and then you have to sign it. Okay? And then from there, you mail it off. Okay, to your city clerk. Now, again, I'm not going to go into very specific details of what each city might require. I just know that's what it said on the website, and then I would move forward to specifically whatever details my state expects. Okay, so make sure you check wherever your state expects when it comes to voting. Check that. I then mailed my registration to my state official, okay, following the state requirements. But I also emailed my stuff, my information. So I'm going to talk about that earlier. I'm going to talk about that later. Let's see. I want to make sure, because I'm going to have to go back to reading, because now I'm starting to mess up. So I want to stay focused on not messing up. As soon as I start mixing up my words, I can tell that I'm getting nervous, because now this gets into specific things that I might have received, or things that I had questions about, or things that I'd done. So I'm now I'm having to go back on my notes because I'm going over my words. So Let's see. Note, this is something you'll have to do every year or every time you change your address. That is one thing. So anytime I have to go back, like if we move again, I have to go back and fill out another one of those applications. And I'm not sure if I have to check the website. Again, I'm not the expert. The website is. Why I would have to do this every year of a federal election, maybe dependent upon your state. If there's other elections, but it did say it's something that you should do every year and every time you change your address. That makes sense to me. The every year thing, I'm not quite sure. Local elections, I'm not sure how, if that's also to make sure that you can, the information, because I haven't done a local election yet, so I can't really speak to that. That's the reason why I'm not sure about that, but check the website. Anyway, I officially registered to vote in the primaries and for the November 5th election on July 12th, and I instantly received email notification, and it says you have successfully created subscriber preferences for the Federal Voting Assistance Program. So they constantly give me updates when it comes to anything regards to voting in my state, which is lovely. Now, one thing that I did, even though I mentioned that I mailed my application, I also sent an email specifically to my city clerk, to my address of my voting residence, okay? So I sent an email to the city clerk and I included the PDF. Okay, so I scanned my application. So I submitted a PDF of my application, a signed application, to my city clerk. And she actually emailed me back, just like, which I appreciated, so that I knew that she knew that I will be an absentee voter and that I'm living abroad. I also, in my email, indicated I prefer any forms that can be sent to me electronically. So I wanted everything via email. So that just kind of saves her time. I don't have to worry about something being mailed to me. And I'm going to do a future video about receiving things in the mail in the Philippines, but that was a concern of mine. So being able to reach out to her via email was really nice. And then for her to respond like the same day just made me feel I was rest assured that I was going to receive everything that I needed so that I could vote. So in preparation for the primaries, I received an email on July 31st so that I could vote in the primaries. One of the things that's definitely important, on the outside of the envelope when you mail your ballot for the primary, you needed to write down official absent voters ballot. Now, could I submit my ballot via email? No. They only accept it via mail. So when you take it to the post office, make sure you get a tracking number, okay? And then on the website, okay, fvap.gov, you can also check to see if it's been received, which is awesome. In preparation for the November 5th election, I received my email with all of my instructions and the ballot on September 19th. And also on part of the instructions, make sure on the outside of the envelope, official absent voters ballot needs to be written on it. Now that's for the state of Michigan. I also put in big letters that it's going to the United States, so USA at the bottom right hand corner. I did it for both letters. My post office definitely gave me a tracking number so I can check. And then I can also check if my ballot was received, again, through the website, fvap.gov, through the local office search. And then I would just check to see specifically through my city clerk. Now, the nice thing, because I had emailed my city clerk earlier, back in July, and she had been emailing me all of my ballot information, I know I could then email her and maybe get a response for her to check on the status of my ballot. But that really is it. That is basically everything that I've done. I voted the first week of October. I wanted to make sure that my ballot arrived in a timely fashion. And again, it is still October 19th in the United States. So you have, if you're an American citizen, you have until Monday, October 21st to register online or by mail so that you can vote in the November 5th election, if you choose to do so. So thanks for hanging out, and I hope you have a great day. Catch you later.